Jackson Radio Show.
That's what killed me when Bruce became Caitlyn. That was like a national news story, at a ridiculous level. I miss that guy. I miss him already. He should have told us. He should have given us a chance to say goodbye. I watched him on the Olympics. I watched him on Chips. I watched him on that horrible show my wife watched where he just walks around in the background. Nobody listened to him. It was so sad.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. I agree with Bill Burr. It is sad. Bruce just up and left abruptly. No notice. I mean, I'm sure there were notice around the people that he was close to. Like, Bruce is a bit strange. And, when he started letting the hair grow, this is during the reality show days. But I'm saying leading up to that, was there anything in the past, 7 years, that would make you say to yourself, Bruce Jenner would become a chick? There's nothing. No warning. Bill Burr, that's who that was. He's hysterical. One of the funniest guys around, comedian-wise. Tells it like it is. And you know what? It's good that we have that kind of comedy. Especially around subjects like this that you really can't talk about anymore. I was watching a episode of the show My Cousin Vinny. I used to write comedy for a guy named Godfather Vinny. Anyway, My Cousin Vinny. And you remember when Marissa Tomei is up there and he says, well, what makes you an expert? And she worked at my father's garage as a mechanic. And he says, as a mechanic? She says, yeah. And then he says, what did you used to do? She says, I did tune-ups, And I think one of the things she says is reworked trannies and stuff like that. And I was thinking, there'll come a time, you mark my words, they will bleep that word out. You won't be able to say tranny in short for transmission because it can be used in a, quote, derogatory fashion. Nobody even has the guts to put it in its proper perspective. You know what the word is for cigarette, right? The old school word for cigarette rhymes with hag. It's now offensive to gays. If a word is offensive to gays, you got to get rid of it, apparently. So you can't say that word for a cigarette. Pretty soon, and I heard this. I heard if we put the word tranny in a blog post, Facebook censors it, Google censors it, etc., and they mark it way down in the rankings. They won't show it. It's ridiculous. You have to write feel-good articles in order for those guys to say everything's okay. Anyway, that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about what Caitlyn Jenner is up to. Because Bruce turned Caitlyn has made a lot of bold moves in his or her lifetime, but none of them as bold as the move that I'm about to share with you. You see, forget that the epitome of manhood in the 80s has now turned into a woman. And I want you to go with me on this because Bill Burr, the clip that we led in with, sort of illustrates what I'm about to say, which is how many man crushes were destroyed when Bruce turned into Caitlyn. I mean, you know anybody that was like, what? You got to be kidding. Look, I'll put it to you this way. There's hardly a guy on the planet that grew up during that time that didn't think Bruce Jenner was like, whoa, it wasn't like not in some gay kind of way, but just like, all the guys wanted to be him kind of thing. He was a guy you went, now that's the dude that gets all the girls in college. The guys want to be, invite him to every party, and nobody wants to, put something in his drink so they can beat the crap out of him. I mean, that's the guy you wanted to be. Bruce. So I don't know how many man crushes were destroyed, but how many guys who spoke of Bruce Jenner's prowess and, and all the things that I just described now need therapy. Because they're wondering, is there some latent thing that they would see in Caitlyn when they thought of Bruce? The man on the Wheaties box. iconic manhood in the form of America's Olympic winning decathlete is now a woman. I just have to set the backdrop. The only thing that I took worse was finding out this Navy SEAL became a woman. That became the toughest woman in the world immediately. Former Navy SEAL. You know who this person? I couldn't tell you the name. Wants to run for public office too. Nevertheless, Caitlyn has no shame for that move. For becoming a woman, Bruce turned Caitlyn, hasn't even looked back. It isn't like Bruce came out and did a press conference as Caitlyn and said, look, I know a lot of fellas. You depended on me. I represented manhood. Deal with the new Bruce. Deal with Caitlyn now. She's here and she's queer. Now part of the LGBTQ community. Now, for all intents and purposes, Bruce could have been part of the LGBTQ community for a while. I mean, maybe he was a B. Okay? Does Caitlyn feel bad for leading on Kris Kardashian? I asked this question when it occurred. It reminded me of Jason Collins, the B-League bench warmer basketball player who was at the end of his career, LGBTQ hero who led a woman, this white chick, good-looking girl. I think she was either a volleyball player or basketball player, tall, white girl, good-looking girl. Had her as his fiancée as he's leading this double dangerous life as a queer. Bisexual. Is he Q or is he B? I don't know. But because they proudly call themselves queer, for those of you who think that I was being offensive, I'm not. He let this woman believe she was going to get married to him one day. Then Jason Collins declares his love of men. No apology necessary, right? Gay trumps white chick problems all day long and twice on Sundays. She just had to deal with it. Caitlyn gave Kris Kardashian, Bruce did, the runaround. Yeah, Bruce bailed her out when things were rocky with her marriage to the famed defense attorney for O.J. Simpson. I forget his name, but I know it was Kardashian. Was it not Rob? Rob's the brother. But anyway, that Kardashian dude. But that was in the past, right? I mean, you bail out a woman. You say, hey, Kris Kardashian, you're beautiful. I want to be with you. My name is Bruce. You go to her husband and say, everything's cool, man. I got this. I'll take care of the family. He's like, okay. But I don't think if Bruce had told Kris Kardashian his real feelings, I think she would have taken a different path and not needed a liquor license. You know what I mean? Of course you do. But don't expect Caitlyn to apologize for that because, see, there are bigger fish to fry in the life of Caitlyn Jenner. And Caitlyn had a fish fry-a-palooza recently when she was spotted in a Make America Great Again hat. Driving in some little sports car. Caitlyn has this hat on, cruising down the way. And the word got out, the picture got out with Caitlyn driving this little car with this Make America Great Again hat. And the wrath of the LGBT community came hard and fast. Because how dare a trans support whomever they wish? The LGBTQ community has to be kept in check, just like black folks. And they will go after Caitlyn if she steps out of line. So Caitlyn issues an apology. Said she didn't know what she was thinking. And I want to read you this from the Daily Caller. Pictures of the transgender spokesman came out on Thursday sporting a fire engine red hat as he drove from his home in Malibu, California. So paparazzi caught him. He was going to the Sherwood Country Club for a round of golf. Jenner told TMZ he rummaged quickly through his things to find a hat to keep his hair from blowing all over the place while riding in his convertible. Said no dude ever. Anyway, he didn't realize that he'd chosen the hat with President Trump's slogan on it. So, oh my gosh, I chose the wrong hat. They said Jenner even headed into a Starbucks after the golf match, still wearing the hat. Then he formally apologized to friends and the public during an interview with TMZ and said he couldn't believe what he had done. I apologize to all the trans community. I made a mistake. We'll never do it again, and I'm getting rid of the hat. It appears Bruce Caitlyn doesn't know who he is. It's comical, folks, to think that of all the dramatic, outrageous stunts that Jenner has pulled in his or her life, however you want to look at it, it's the wearing of a Make America Great Again hat that has him the most embarrassed. So I'd ask Jenner, when does the LGBTQ trump country? Make America Great Again offends the LGBTQ? I suggest Make Syria Great Again might make Caitlyn and other LGBTQ feel more free, huh? The America where Bruce can be a freak named Caitlyn is a pretty remarkable country, folks. And I dare Caitlyn to take her act to the Middle East and see how well she fares.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.